Got your caffeine updated. Okay, that's good. Okay, now I think some parts of it we must have already done it, but let's have a look. Okay, so now we will first go into our subscription that we have created yesterday. So I will go into portal again, portal.azure.com, and if you click on resource groups, you must have already deleted some of the resource groups. I didn't delete my anomaly one. Apart from that, I think I have deleted most of it. Okay. So now what we will do is we will create a service. What service are we going to create? We are going to create a computer vision service. Okay. Okay. So now click on the first step is click on the create a resource and search for computer vision. Okay, click on the very first one, computer vision. This is how pretty much every resource is created in Azure, so it's easy. So click on create again. I recommend you use a new resource group, Comp Vision AI900 RG. Okay, so that's my resource group name, and it is indicating that it's new. And the region is for UK. Stefan, what are you using for your region? UK South, maybe. Yeah. And I'm going to use Australia East, and Siri, you need to use Geo India West. Okay. And give a good name, and make sure in your name there is only alphanumeric characters and hyphens are allowed. Any other special characters are not allowed in the naming of the computer vision. So I will just say Comp Vision AI 900 instance, INS. So once I come out of that, pricing tier, I have a free F0 with me, and that allows 20 calls per minute and 5K calls per month, which is pretty good for a beginner to learn. So pricing tier and responsible AI, because this is a um, very delicate service, we have to click on the I certify that I have reviewed and acknowledged the terms, all the terms above. Acknowledge. So what does it say? Microsoft provides technical documentation regarding the appropriate operation applicable to this Azure AI service that is made available by Microsoft. Microsoft customer acknowledges and agrees that they have reviewed this documentation and will use this service in accordance with it. So I hope no one will use it for unwanted purposes. Okay. Now click on that and then you go review and create. We didn't have that kind of I accept that kind of statement in other services. Just observe, it is only in computer vision, and as it has the face part of it. Now review and create. Just review what subscription you are using, resource group, region, name, free tier, and it is public. We have not defined any private endpoints. Okay. Now just click on create. Deployment is in progress. So while that deployment, yeah, it's already deployed. Now I'll give maybe 1 minute for everyone else's to deploy. By the way, who all are creating this computer vision? Can you just indicate something in the chat, please? so that I know some numbers. No one is creating. Shilpa, Siri, no one is creating. Swati. Uh, okay, I'm just observing. Creating in deployment. Very good, Jane. Okay, yeah. Yeah, observing is also okay, no problem. But I just want to know if somebody is creating, just let me know. Can't today? Okay, that's okay, no worries. Can understand it's around 3 a.m. to the, for you, right? So overview screen now. Very good. Uh, Done. Great. Okay. I think now we can proceed. So now click on the go to resource. Okay. And if you want to give feedback, you can give. At the moment, I'm just going to click on X. So now here we need two things. Who can tell me what those two things are? Can understand, Siri? Uh, yeah, who can tell me what we need to use the computer vision? No, no, we don't. You don't need to add tags. No, no problem. Now let me know. We did similar thing with anomaly detector. So what did we use from this service for us to test it? Can anyone tell me from this service? Yeah, images are there anyway. That's okay. But from this service, we need two things. What are those two things? Can anyone tell me? My cursor is indicating. No, no, it's all trained, pre-trained. Computer vision is a pre-trained model, Sunny. So, yes, perfect. Corina, a big round of applause for you. Very good. Yes, Jane, yes, you are right. Endpoint and keys. So, if you click on keys and endpoint, you get both. Copy this as well as copy this one. Okay, I'm going to keep my this thing as it is. Now, the next one is, so we have created the computer vision resource. Now, in the case of anomaly detection, we ran a command line application called Cloud Shell. So let's do the Cloud Shell part. Now, how do we access the Cloud Shell? Can anyone remember? Yeah, it's the arrow that is there at the top ribbon. So click on that and then you will get a terminal sort of thing. So it's going to connect and gives us the prompt. Now, since we have created, at least I have created, I don't know whether you have deleted the resource group. If you haven't deleted the resource group, you might still be having the AI900 that we downloaded using this command. See this one. Where is that? Yeah, using this command. So let's check whether we have that. So just copy this one, code dot, second one, and let's check. If we don't have it, then we have to do the first part. So what is the command for pasting? Can anyone remember? Command for pasting in Cloud Shell. Yes, Control Shift V. Very good, Ramya. Okay, yeah, very good. Okay, let's now Control Shift and V. So it has pasted my code space dot, and let's see. Okay, mine, I have the AI900. Everyone has it or no? Who doesn't have it? You let me know in the chat. Then we will go through that procedure. If everyone has it, then we don't need to worry. Otherwise, we will go through the first step as well. Everyone looks like everyone has it. Uh, yes. Okay. No one. Oh, you deleted. So did you have it or not? Upgrade must to get the storage mounted. Okay, I need to download again. Okay, so in order to download again, Sunny, what you need to do is just go to the above git clone command. What you do is just go to the git clone command, copy that, and then paste it before you. Uh, yeah, copy that and paste it. I'll give you maybe 1 minute to do that, and once you do that, you run the next command. So and then you let me know once you finished. Done. Okay. So are you in this screen? Okay. So now Cloud Shell storage is created and we have the AI900 this thing. Now what we need to do is we need to open from AI900 folder. We need to open analyze hyphen image dot ps1. So let's go and do that. Expand AI900 and come down using the scroll bar and then click on the analyze hyphen image dot ps1. Now again, we replace the your key to our key and endpoint to our endpoint. So what I'll do is I'll just copy from here. My key is here and I will copy that, control V, and here you need to use control V, okay? And the endpoint also I will copy and paste it in dollar endpoint. Yeah. So these are the parameters that we are giving to this PowerShell file. Now we need to save, right? How do we save? Go to the corner and then click on save. Now if you want, you can close this by again clicking on that and closing. Close the editor. I don't want to close it. I'll just keep it like that. And now what we need to do is go back to the material and then we need to run that, right? Run that PowerShell file. But before that, what we need to do is we need to change our directory. At the top, yeah, we have saved it. So sample client application will use your computer service to analyze the following images taken by a camera in the Northwind Traders store. Okay. Now in PowerShell, what we need to do is cd space AI900 is what we use to change it to the AI900 directory, and then we are specifying the image. This image store hyphen camera hyphen one dot jpg is also in our directory, which we can see. So let's see that, but copy the code before that. I have copied, and now so if we come here we will be able to see the image, hopefully. Where is images, data. This is all PS. Yeah, everything is PowerShell. So it might be there, maybe in the data. Vision. Yeah, if we go into vision, animals, road safety, fruit. See this one. It will be in the data and vision folder. You can see store camera 1 JPG, store camera 2 JPG, store camera 3 JPGs. These are the three that we are going to use today. So now, since you have copied the code, what we will do is we will use Control Shift V and then um, enter, so that it analyzes and analyzing the image. And what did it come up with analyzing? So if we go here, I'll just go up a bit. So tags relevant to this image are text, person, woman, store, shop. Okay, those are the tags. And objects, this has done an object detection as well. That is a cell phone, person, that means there are two people, and then a room. And the description is a woman showing her phone to a child. Was that the image? So here, if we go here, see this one, a woman showing her phone to her child. That's the image that we are that it has analyzed. That's the text, that's the description it came up with. Okay, so that's the testing out the first image. Now let's test out the second image. So again, in the next, come down the first image, and then there is a code again. Copy that and go back to your PowerShell, not PowerShell, the Cloud Shell. Now come back to the prompt, and then again Control Shift V. So this is what this is doing is, this is running the analyze-image.ps1 against the image named store-camera-2.jpg. So okay, so what is this doing? Objects detected is only one person. Tags are text, person, woman, marketplace, shop. And the description is a woman holding a shopping cart in a grocery store. So is that true? Let's go and check. Yeah, see, in a grocery store, a uh, woman holding a shopping cart. That's called a shopping cart in a grocery store, which is pretty good analysis. We can analyze a third one, which is this one. And yeah, for that we need to copy the last command and go into the command editor, Cloud Shell, Control Shift V, and then enter. And we have the description as a person pushing a shopping cart. And the objects in this image detected are, it's a person and a supermarket. Tags relevant to this image is text, marketplace, person, scene, produce, and shop. So that concludes our computer vision lab. So now let's review the results. If you want, you can keep it because it's free tier. And what you can do is you can upload your own images into this. Where was that? Into the what do you call, the storage, and then you can run the same command using that analyze-image.ps1 and give your image name, and then I think it should work, and it can give you your the analysis of your image. If you want, you can do that. I'm going to go and delete my resource group. So I will just close the Cloud Shell, and I'm going to delete my resource group. I'll just go into resource group and computer vision. Where is my resource group? Okay, computer vision AI 900, and then I will say delete resource group, and it asks for the name. So I'm just going to give the name and then delete it. So that concludes the computer vision lab. Now let's try and continue with the next part of the session. So for that, we will continue with the PowerPoint. I think there are some review questions. So let's have a look. Okay, now answer carefully. You plan to build an application that compares faces for similarity and identifies individuals. What service would you use? Answers please in the chat. Face service. Yeah, because it has faces, right? Very good. Okay. Now, what you want to use the custom vision and language service. You also want developers to require only one key and endpoint to access all your services. Okay. What kind of resource should you create in Azure? This is a bit tricky question. I want you to think and answer. Yeah, more answers, please. Yes. Um, think. Shilpa, think. Any other answers? I'm not going to give the answer. Is it custom vision, language, cognitive services, language, custom vision? Okay, yeah. I think the cognitive services is the right answer. The reason being, can anyone explain the reason? You have answered one, two, three, four, five. Form recognize. Oh, the last one. That is okay. The first five. Why is the answer cognitive services and not custom vision or language? Can anyone unmute and let me know, or type in the chat, please? Yes, because yes, Sunny, you are right. Because custom vision and language service are two different services, right? Custom vision and language service in Azure. But those two belong to cognitive services. Cognitive services have uh, a lot of services that we can use if we create a cognitive service resource. And you remember you have four pillars along with that. I think detection, um, I can't remember those four pillars. Underneath four pillars, you have the language custom vision as well in one of those pillars. So that's why if you want to use require only one key and endpoint, then you have to use cognitive services. If you create custom vision, you will have one endpoint and one key for custom vision, and if you create language service, you will have another key and another endpoint for language service. But the question here is the developers want to use only one key and endpoint. So that's when you create cognitive services, and then from cognitive services you can access the custom vision and language service from cognitive services. Okay, that's good. Hope everyone understood. Any questions? Okay. Next question is, you want to extract information and perform semantic recognition of the on the extracted fields. What service would you use? Yeah, I think it's yeah. Can you answer, Shilpa? You have answered. What about the others? Can others answer? I just want to see what the answers are. What answers you are going to give? Um, just look at the question. You want to extract information and perform semantic recognition on the extracted fields. So, what service would you use? Yes, Hilpa and Kohli. Yeah. No, it's not computer vision at all because you cannot, yeah, you can extract text from computer vision, but you cannot perform semantic recognition on the extracted fields in the other two, computer vision and optical character recognition. Optical character recognition is actually part of the computer vision. Okay, so you cannot do that. You can perform semantic recognition of on the extracted fields only in form recognizer. Okay, so the answer is form recognizer. Okay, let's have a look at review our results. Uh, we all said face, that's right. And cognitive services, now you know why it is cognitive services. And if you, yeah, and then form recognizer is the answer. I think most of you got wrong there. It is form recognizer because it performs semantic recognition on the extracted fields. Okay, so now the summary is we have learned what computer vision is, what are the applications of computer vision services, what are the computer vision services in Azure, and image analysis, how computer vision service provides image analysis, and training models using custom vision service, detecting faces with face service, reading text with computer vision service, and analyzing forms with the form recognizer service. Okay, that concludes, I think, our module 3. What's the time? Do you want a 5-minute stretch and then we will continue? Otherwise, shall we continue? Up to you. Yes, no? Okay. Yeah, okay. Just 5 minutes until I open my uh, PowerPoint. Okay, I'm sharing now. Yeah, I'll give you 3. Okay, continuing now. Uh, can you see my screen? Yeah, I think so. Okay. Now, this one we will explore more fundamentals about natural language processing. So, this will give you the introduction to natural language processing and also building natural language solutions in Azure. So, what is natural language processing? So, there are five aspects to this natural language processing. The first one is text analysis and recognition, entity recognition. So, what this means is you have a text. For example, you run a survey, or best example is you have comments on either Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter, right? So, what text analysis does is it takes that text and then determines what the salient points are. Uh, this it does to recognize what the entities can be, such as, for example, dates or places or people. Those can be the entities. So that's how it recognizes the entities. And it also does some analysis of the text. For example, you have articles or even the comments that you have, whether it's a positive comment or a negative comment, that comes under sentiment analysis. But text analysis, what it does is it determines the main subject of the text that you provide to it. So that's how text analysis and entity recognition uh, is done in natural language processing. Next comes sentiment analysis. So what is sentiment? Sentiment is you either feel good or you either feel bad or you are neutral, right? Those are the three kinds of sentiments that you have, the most common form of sentiment. So it grabs the text and then sees whether it's a positive comment or a negative comment or a neutral comment based on the text that it is provided. So that is also another example of natural language processing. Now, next comes speech recognition and synthesis. So it's increasingly common to encounter these days the AI systems that can recognize what the spoken language is, what kind of language is it, and also synthesize the spoken output, whether it's for example, in a car system, you it might enable hands-free communication by reading incoming text, right? uh, and then enabling you to verbally dictate a response. That is a speech recognition and synthesis. That kind of example is for a speech recognition and synthesis. And another type of natural language processing is machine translation. So what does machine translation mean? So international and cross cultural collaboration is often a key to success, right? And this requires the ability to eliminate language barriers. So what this does is uh, when somebody is speaking to you in their native language, like for example Japanese or Chinese, you can use a machine translation service so that it translates what they are saying in Japanese or Chinese, because you don't know what Japanese and Chinese is, and then it will translate to you to your spoken language, which is can be English or whatever your spoken, or German or French, whatever it can be. So that is what is called machine translation. It just translates the language. So that is also an example of natural language processing. And at the end, we have the semantic language modeling. What does that mean? So languages can be complex and hard to understand, right? So there are multiple phrases that might be used to mean the same thing. And so, for example, where can I get gas near here? But it could be um, another way to ask the same question is, what is the closest gas station? Or give me the directions to the gas station. So that kind of modeling that.
Indira, I cannot hear you. Indira, I cannot hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now? Hello, can you hear me? Yes. Okay. So I maybe I'll cover the semantic language modeling again. I think I need to be careful with this headphone. Okay. So what is semantic language modeling? For example, language can be very complex, right? For example, I can say one sentence in many different ways. One thing is, I want to find out where the closest petrol station is. I can ask it like, where can I get gas near here? Okay, that's one kind of question I can ask. The same question I can change it to, what's the closest gas station, or where is the closest gas station? The other way I can ask is, get me directions to a gas station. So these kind of different ability to understand the questions that are phrased differently is called semantic language modeling. So if for example, if you are trying to chat with a chatbot, the chatbot need to understand the different forms of phrases that each user will chat with it. So that's where there is semantic language modeling is used. So any questions so far, or have you understood? Okay, no response is good. Okay, so now let's go to what is conversational AI. Okay, so conversational AI builds on other AI workloads, and in particular the natural language processing, but also you can use machine learning and potentially even computer vision. And also you can, if it is speech to text or something like that, you can even use the um, language service as well. Okay, so this is nothing but a solution that enables a dialogue between an AI agent and a human. So mostly the term bot is used for conversational AI. And these bots are used in multiple scenarios, such as if you want customer support and you place a bot in the website, so that at least the level 1 of the customer support is taken care of with the bot. Okay, and you have reservation systems uh, that enable users to book, like for example movie tickets, or even flights, or even these days restaurant tables, all those things, right? So that also is can be done by a bot. And these days we have the digital assistants, so the cell phone or an in-home um, voice message uh, with instructions. So once you call a number, you say press 1 to reach reception, press 2 to reach the student center, whatever. Okay, so those are called digital assistants that also these days we can use bots. Okay. And online ordering, for example, that also in that also you can use bots. And healthcare, so sometimes you can use bots for automated diagnosis. You can key in your symptoms, and then it will give you maybe possibilities of what the diagnosis can be. And yeah, and like that there are several examples. So that is what is called a conversational AI, and this is sort of a screenshot of how a conversational AI can be. Now, next one is natural language processing and conversational AI services in Azure. So, natural language processing is, you have language service, you have speech service, you have translator service, and Azure bot service. These are the four services that are there in Azure for natural language processing and conversational AI. Language service has, you can detect the language, whether it's French or German or English or Hindi or whatever, that service is there. Key phrase extraction. So, what are the key phrases that are being used in the text that you have provided? That part. And you also have entity detection. What are the entities? Like, for example, people, places, something like that. And sentiment analysis, which we already discussed, whether the text provided has a positive sentiment or a negative sentiment or a neutral sentiment. And question answering. So you have a lot of FAQs. What should I do if I get lost? The answer. What should I do if I don't find the website? You get an answer. That kind of question answering uh, also can be done using the language service. And conversational language understanding, like how we have discussed about the different ways to uh, ask the same question. So those kind of things can be done using the language service. And speech service, you have, when you give a text, it will convert into a speech, or when you give a speech, it is going to convert into a text. And speech service also has another service that it does, speech translation. So when you try and speak in Chinese, it will translate you to a speech in English. So that can be done. And using the translator service, you can do the text translations. So just remember, speech translation is in speech service and text translation is in translator. Sometimes you might get confused. And Azure bot service is the platform for conversational AI. Okay. So using this platform, you can create a chatbot. So that's the language processing and conversational AI in Azure. So let's building natural language solutions in Azure. Let's see what that is. Okay, so analyzing text. So this is the text that you are passing. I had a wonderful vacation in France. So this is now analyzing the text. The first it analyzes what language it is. Predominant languages in is English. Okay. Next one, the sentiment is, because it said wonderful vacation, it says 88% positive. The sentiment is positive. Key phrases is wonderful vacation. And entity, what can anyone say what the entity is? Can anyone say what the entity is from this sentence? Guess. Nothing wrong in guessing. I want one of you to answer. Key phrase is wonderful vacation. And what did I say that entities can be? I said that it can be a people, place, or something else. So what can be the entity here? Come on.
France.
Very good. Place, yes, France. See, entities is France. Okay. So that's how text analysis happens. Now, here, speech recognition and synthesis. So, you use the speech to text capabilities of the speech service to transcribe audible speech to text. So, I'm talking and then it will translate the transcribe the speech to text. Okay, that is speech to text service. There is also a text to speech. So this is audio. Think of that somebody is saying, and that will be converted into text. And here somebody is typing, and you can use the text to speech capabilities to convert into speech. So that is the speech recognition and synthesis. Next one is translator service. Bonjour. What does the translator service do? Bonjour means hello. So that's what it does. Speech service, hello. Hola. Okay. What is happening here? What is the difference between translator service and speech service? Can anyone tell me?
It's translating the one language to the another language,
Yes.
like
Okay.
from unknown to the known.
Yeah. Translator service and speech services. Speech is you are saying it here. Hello. This is audio. Okay. This is translator is text to speech. Text translation is this is only text. Understood? This is text in German or French. I can't remember. Bonjour means, and that is translated to text in English. Okay, text translation only happens with translator service, whereas speech service, with speech service you can translate speech to text or speech to uh, language translation can also happen uh, with different languages. Speech services, you have speech to text and text to speech. That's the difference I'm trying to uh, let you know here. Did you get it, or shall I explain again? Yes, yeah, yeah. Speech service, voice to text. Yes, that's good. Yeah, that's really good. It's good that you got it because these kind of tricky questions will be asked in the exam. So that's the reason I'm trying to stress there. Okay, now conversational language understanding. So these days you get modern homes, right? Switch the light on. So here somebody has uttered this sentence. So this is a called an utterance. And what is the entity here? It's a thing, right? So light. Light is the entity. And you have intent. So these understand what the entity is, what the intent is, and what the what do you call what the utterance is. Okay. So um, have you got it? Do you understand what an entity is? Okay, what is an utterance? Utterance is just a phrase that a user might use. For example, switch the lights on. Okay, light on. Okay. In this utterance, what is the entity? Entity is light. What entity can be either place or a thing or a I'm just saying it as an example. It can be an item, it can be a person, it can be a place, something like that. Entity. And there is an intent. What is the intent here? It's the described action. So the switch something on is the intent. So that's the those are the three things that you need to understand a bit very clearly. uh, yeah, if you have any questions, you let me know. Now next one is question answering. question answering, define a knowledge base of question and answer pairs. This is the question, and for this question, this is the answer. You have a next question, question 2, you have an answer. Something like a FAQ document. So sometimes you find FAQs on websites, right? So you can use that FAQ document to convert into a question answering service, and then you can put bots over that, so that when you ask a question, the answer is given. So that kind of knowledge base you can prepare of the question and answer pairs, and then over the knowledge base you can put bots, so that you get the bots can give responses based on the questions and answers that you have given in the knowledge base. Got it? Okay, next one is Azure Bot Service. Azure Bot Service is okay. What does this represent? Azure Bot Service is a platform for creating, deploying, and managing bots. Okay, that is the main thing. Creating, managing, and deploying of bots is done using Azure Bot Service. Now, the developers can use Microsoft Bot Framework. There is an SDK for that, to develop bots and easily deploy them and manage them in Azure. Okay. And this bot service, you can integrate your bot with the language and other services. You can integrate with language for language understanding, or even integrate with the question answering service to connect to the bot, so that when you ask the questions, you can get the answers. And also you can connect this bot through multiple channels. Like, what are your multiple channels? You can do it as a web chat on the website, or even you can put it in an email, or even these days you can add apps into Microsoft Teams, right? So you can do that. And there are several other examples where you can use these channels for your bot. Did you get? Okay, so that now we have come to the lab. Shall we continue with the lab, or you need a break? Are you understanding? Do you want to discuss anything more about any of the slides that I have shown?
Would you please able to explain the Azure ones, Azure Cloud Service again, please?
Bot service?
The Azure one, the last one, the last slide, like
Okay.
Azure services that building the
This one?
bot and everything. Yeah,
This one?
please.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'll just give you an example, because you have seen Azure Machine Learning yesterday, right?
Yes.
You launched a studio, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. There is something similar to that. There is something called Microsoft Bot Framework SDK. SDK is nothing but software development kit. So you can use that to create a bot, okay, to develop a bot, and then you can deploy that using that SDK. Okay, SDK will take care of it. So yesterday, what we have done is we have created a machine learning model, and then we have deployed it, right?
Yes.
So in the similar fashion, there is something called Microsoft Bot Framework SDK, which you can use and then create your bot and then deploy it. Okay. Now, after deploying it, you need some content for that, right? For the bot to respond to you. They will be default content, like if you say hello, I can say hello. Those default texts are available in the Azure Bot Service. But if you want to create a bot for your knowledge base, then what you do is you integrate that into the question answering service of the natural language processing. So here you have, sorry. So here you have question answering service, right?
Yes.
So you integrate that bot to this question answer service, so that it gets you not only the normal conversation like hello, how are you, what's the weather, that kind of stuff, In addition to that, it will go into your, if you integrate it to your question answer service, then
Mhm.
it will give you the, if the user asks a question, what is that is there in your question answer service, in your in your knowledge base, then
Yeah.
it will give you answers based on what your response that you have provided in the knowledge base.
Knowledge base.
So
Okay.
you can customize it to your situation.
Okay. Yeah. Based
Okay.
on the domain, we can able to prepare it. You mean?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank
Got it. Very good, Ramya. Very good question.
you.
Any other questions? Okay, shall we continue, or this might take a bit of a time? Text lab. I think this might take about an hour. So maybe we will 10:05. Sorry, 11:05, 10:57. So we will have maybe 6 minutes break, and then we will continue with this. I will post it on the chat, and then I'll stop the recording for now. I want to create another recording. Just please remind me if I forget.